comic review for the week comics released last week, December 31st, 2025, last day of the year, and it was a really good year for comics. I had actually a short week though. Rob commented it was a short week altogether. That kind of happens usually if there's 5 instead of 4 weeks in a year or Wednesdays in a month. So we'll just get right on started. We'll do our independence first, um, and then my Marvel, and then what I got through options for the week. First off is Marian Heretic number 3 by Teenie Howard. I'm really enjoying this. It reminds me of the Magdalena from the 90s that Mark Silvestri wrote as kind of like a kind of 3-issue offshoot of Darkness. Um, she technically hunts witches for the church, but in reality, she saves the witches. I'm really liking it. The art by Joe Jarrow is very good. Um, it's a 5-issue run, so about halfway through. Issue 3 had a really good kind of midway peak, so definitely would recommend it by Boom Studios. Next is uh, Feral, number 19 by Image. Oh my gosh. So, Elsie and Lucky finally have it out, and wow, just wow. They don't, spoiler alert, uh, there's a big to do over not wanting to eat kittens. Not that I blame them, I wouldn't want to eat kittens either. This series is just so creepy good. I never thought I would be a fan of comic about cats, but um, it's amazing. Like I said, it's like Stranger Things meets vampires meets zombie cats. So yeah, I'm loving the series. Tony Fleeks and Tina Forstner, her art is amazing. His story is great. I can't wait to see what happens to Elsie and Lucky next. Onward to Marvel. As I had no DC this week, which is very odd for me, but they didn't put anything out that I got this week. So, but I did get kind of a title that I would never normally get. Number 9 of One World Under Doom, which was wrapping up this 9-issue run of One World Under Doom. Um, I'm almost disappointed that I didn't read the whole thing because this ninth issue, which I only read because I was told that you needed to read it before you read Sorcerer Supreme number 1 with Wanda taking over. So I got it for that reason, and it's kind of ironic because it's like literally like 2 pages at the very end about that, and the whole rest of it was what Doom was willing to do to save his goddaughter, um, Valeria Richards. Um, Apparently, the end result is going to, I'm not going to spoil it, but the end result is going to dramatically change the Marvel Universe from here on out, which I can understand why, having now read it. It was very good. I would actually give it an A minus. The art was good. The story was moving. I'm glad I picked it up. Thank you, Krista, for putting it in the box for me. And then finally, number 1, new Sorcerer Supreme with Wanda. Art by Russell Dowderman, who did all the art in the other 2 Wanda Scarlet Witch series. This cover is by Lyrics, who I really love his art. And isn't that amazing, right? The story was great. A really plausible way Wanda Becomes Sorcerer Supreme. I did get two variants. I got the Lee In-hyuk variant. I think that was just stunning, right? And then I got the another Russell Douterman variant, which features her new outfit for being Sorcerer Supreme, which I just think the outfit is wow. Um, yeah, it was really good. I'm looking forward to it. I've been following her series since it came out in 2022. I'm really loving it. I think Steve Orlando does a great job writing Wanda. I've enjoyed the stories. I'm glad that he's picking uh, this story up right where basically where Wanda left off. I thought it was great that she went back to her shop at Lock Hill, in Lock Hill and gave it to Darcy. A little spoiler there. And I think it's really interesting that she's got a council that she's going to refer to and who's on said council. So definitely pick it up and read it. It was definitely, I would say, the best out of this week's reading. Right there, Farrell right behind it. Now we come to the always, as I said, I'm always looking at auctions and trying to find the older comics that I'm looking for cheap, because I don't have a lot of money. And I got a couple of really good deals on auctions that arrived this past week. I got number one of my Cloak and Dagger, the very first 1983 4-issue run. This number one now completes my 4 issues. So I have this entire run and can now focus on the 1985 run. The comic's in pretty decent shape. It's got a couple of dings, but it was only 89 cents, so I'm not complaining. Um, and I really got it to read. Not, I wasn't planning on getting these slabbed or anything. And they're really not in bad. It's really not in bad shape at all. So I'm really happy to have that little 4-issue mini series. First time Tandy and Tyrone are featured by themselves from 1983. Gosh, 1983. I was a freshman in high school. Next, I got. I've been trying to get the early issues of the current Poison Ivy run. I have read them. I got the first 12 issues. I had in trade paperback before I moved back to Virginia and started collecting comics again. And so I've been slowly trying to find issues 1 through 12 of this run to have the complete set. And I got number 2, which is a great Jenny Friesen image upside down. I love that she's upside down in it. Yeah, I just love Jenny Friesen's work. And it was only $1.50, not bad for not being only 3 years old. And then I got a Warren Lau Poison Ivy number 6. And this is, it's a really wild image, right? I thought I was getting the A cover by Jessica Fong and the auctioneer, because that's what I was doing the auction for. And I won the auction for, I think it was $1.50. And I got an email from the guy having the auction that, oops, he couldn't find the Jessica Fong cover, but he had this one Warren Lau, and he gave it to me for the same price. So I was tickled because, the variants are always $1 more. So I was really tickled to get that. And that leaves only number 5 for me to have. I still need number 5. I actually have purchased it, but it's not here yet. Um, for me to complete this set. And one less comic I have to follow auctions for, comic series, I should say. And that, my friends, wraps up my week of New Year's. End of December, end of 2025, beginning of 2026. Comics come out on my birthday this year, which I think is kind of great. Wednesday the 7th is New Comic Book Day, and my 58th birthday. I cannot believe I'm going to be 58 years old, 4 years older than my dad ever made it. Um, it's quite a milestone. Not quite, the big 60 is still a couple years away, but I'm going to be 58, and my family just told me that they're taking me out to dinner to an Italian restaurant that I've been really dying to try. Last but not least, I finished. I am also always reading novels. And I just finished James Ellroy's Suicide Hill, which was the third novel in the trilogy about the detective Lloyd Hopkins. And I really enjoyed the first two books. Suicide Hill, not so much. It really didn't get good until it was a 280-page book, and it really was like 100 page 150 160 before it really sucked you in. And I normally really am a fan of his work, so um, we'll see. Yeah, I have get to start the LA series next. Black Dahlia, LA Confidential, and White Jazz, which are the three books in that trilogy. So I'm really looking forward to those. But as of right now, I'm reading a book called Zoya by a local author, Alexandra. I cannot for the life of me pronounce her last name. It begins with P. Petrovich. It's a Russian name. Hold on, let me look that up and see if I can uh, sound it out. Pugachevsky. And oh my gosh, I'm butchering that name, I'm sure. And I apologize for that up front, but it's actually pretty good. It's a young adult fantasy about a girl who is Russian and gets hit in the head and wakes up in France. Everybody knows her and she knows the language, and then hits her head again and wakes up back in Russia. I'm only about 60 pages in. It's pretty good so far. I'm enjoying that. I will do a review when I finish it. We'll add that in on my weekly thing. And a little bit of news. My friends, Krista and Katie, and I have been talking for 2 years about doing a podcast of this type. And we've made a resolution that 2026 is going to be the year that we get our podcast up and going. So keep a lookout on my Facebook and YouTube for notes about that. And I'm going to then say goodnight to everybody and wish you a wonderful 2026. Keto just turned around to lay back down on his pillow. And good night, everybody.